In this video, I'm going to show two pickoff plays that you can do at third base. The first scenario is going to involve the third baseman, and this is either going to be a pitch out or just a normal pitch. This pickoff usually happens when the third baseman is playing up and that runner is getting a very aggressive lead. The third baseman is going to be moving back. They're going to be turning into the line, and they're going to make sure that they're very close to this line. As they are moving back, they're going to be catching the ball left foot, right foot, and they're going to be tagging right in front of that base. Now this scenario isn't too common to have a pitch out, only because that runner is going to see what that third baseman is doing. But if it is a pitch out, this third baseman is going to start to creep a little bit early, because we know that pitcher is not going to be pitching a strike, so that batter should not be hitting it, and we know for sure that catcher is going to be throwing to third. As that ball is about halfway to home, we're going to start creeping back so we can be ready to go to catch that ball and tag that runner out. If it's not a pitch out, which this is usually the case if the third baseman is taking the throw for the pick. So if it's not a pitch out, the third baseman really needs to make sure that they are holding their ground until they see that ball get by the hitter. Once it's by the hitter, then they're going to start to move back, and they're going to be catching and tagging at the same exact time. We really need to make sure we are not moving early, because if we start to move and that girl hits that ball, we're not going to be able to field it. Because we are moving and catching at the same time, make sure you're nice and wide in your feet so you have good balance. Also make sure you're in your legs, because right when you catch, you want to go down to the ground, and it's a lot quicker when you're bending. If you're standing straight up and down and catch the ball, one, you're not going to have good balance, and two, it's going to take too long to tag that runner. The second scenario that you can do is you're going to have your shortstop as the one receiving the throw at third and making that tag. So with this play, it has to be a pitch out, because we need to give that shortstop enough time to get over to this bag in order to catch the ball and tag that runner out. Now, when we would put on this play is when the runner was getting a big lead and when the runner and the third base coach wasn't paying attention to the defense. And what I mean by that, and let's say I'm the shortstop, I recognize this runner is taking a huge lead, and this third baseman is going to actually be playing really far up, and they're going to be like a decoy. So they're going to be playing far up in order to give this runner a sense of false hope that they can take a big old lead. The other thing is that third base coach isn't paying attention to me. So they're maybe looking at the third baseman and they're really focused on the hitter, but what they don't see is me as a shortstop creeping around, coming behind the bag to catch and tag that runner out. Pitcher is going to make sure they are not throwing the ball to where the hitter can hit it, because the shortstop's going to be moving. For this, the shortstop is actually going to be playing really far back in order to take a good angle to the bag and to make sure that that runner and the third base coach doesn't see him. So when that pitcher starts her motion, the shortstop is going to slowly start to creep over, because they don't want to give anything away. They just want to slowly creep over. And when the pitcher is about to release, the shortstop's going to sprint in directly behind the bag. So again, no one can see them, and they're going to be ready to go to catch and tag that runner out. This is usually a bang bang play. So it's not super important how you set up. You just want to make sure that when you tag, you're getting it right to the front of the bag. I'm usually straddled because I don't have enough time to get to the front of the bag. Regardless, just make sure that you're bending in your knees and then your glove is going straight down in front of that bag.